Hello to all my story lovers. Welcome back in Storytime channel. Today's story name is The Churning of the Ocean. That is the Samudra Manthan in Hindi. This is story written by the great Sudha Murty. Now let's go to the story. One day, the short-tempered sage Durvasa happened to meet a celestial nymph named Sumati, who was carrying a lotus garland giving off a hairy fragrance. Enchanted by the spell, Durvasa immediately wanted it for himself. So he asked Sumati, "Please, may I have that garland?" Sumati did not want to part with it, but she was afraid of the sage's unpredictable temper and gave it to him reluctantly. Durvasa enjoyed the fragrance of the garland for a while, then decided that he would offer it to Indra. Indra was proud of his handsome looks, his station, and his gorgeous wife Sachi. However, to Durvasa's disappointment, Indra didn't seem to care for the gift at all. He just accepted it and immediately placed it on the trunk of his favorite elephant. The elephant, unable to stand the strong aroma for too long, threw the garland to the ground and stomped on it. Predictably, Durvasa lost his temper and cursed Indra. "The power that comes with being the king of gods has obviously gone to your head. You have lost the ability to graciously receive a gift. I curse you as well as your subjects because they have failed to stand up to you and inform you of your shortcomings. You will all soon lose your strength and become a weak reflection of your old slaves." The curse came to fruition, and the Devas began losing all their battles against the Asuras. At the time, the king of the Asura was Bali, grandson of the famous Prahlada, and he had control over almost the entire earth. Overcome by despair, the Devas approached Vishnu. "You need to learn some diplomacy," he said with a mysterious smile. Then he added, there is a pot of nectar at the bottom of the ocean. Churn the ocean and the pot is yours. One sip is enough to make you immortal. Be warned that Bali is also aware of its existence, and the ocean can only be churned with the combined strength of Devas and the Asuras. Now it is up to you to accomplish this, and I will, of course, be there to guide you." Happy that there was a solution in sight, Indra approached Bali and somehow convinced both sides to join forces for this task. Using Mount Mandara as a churning rod and Vasuki, the king of serpent, as the rope, the churning began. The Asuras chose the end with the Vasuki's head, which they assumed was stronger, while the Devas decided to follow Vishnu's advice and stay toward the serpent's tail. Vishnu knew that Vasuki's mouth would emit poisonous fumes during the process of churning and did not want the gods to inhale those fumes. He also knew that the Asuras would be able to withstand the poison. After some time, the rod began to sink. Vishnu immediately took the form of a turtle and balanced Mount Mandara on his back. And so the ocean continued to be still. The churning released many unexpected and magical things. The first was Lakshmi, the goddesses of wealth. She emerged from a lotus, bejeweled and wearing a red sari. When she saw the handsome Vishnu in his true form, she accepted him as her husband and became his eternal consort. Next was the Kotsuba, the most valuable jewel in the world, which Vishnu claimed. The Kotsuba was followed by the fragrant divine flowering tree Parijat, and that Indra was happy to plant in his royal garden. The Asuras, however, ignored all these things and focused only on getting the nectar. But there was more to come. The moon god Chandra emerged and adorned Shiva's head. Chandra was quickly followed by the deadly poison Hala Hala. At this, the Asuras and Devas panic. If even one drop of the poison fell on earth, it would ignite and burst into flames, destroying everyone. When nobody offered to take the responsibility of handling the Hala Hala, Shiva decided to take matters into his own hands. He drank the venom before Parvati could stop him. The goddesses frantically grasped his neck to avoid the poison from going further down his body. As a result, Shiva's neck turned blue and has remained so ever since. This is how he earned the name Neelkantha, or the Lord with the blue throat, and Najunda, or the Lord who has consumed poison. Then came the Ashwini Kumaras, the divine physicians, as the Devas wanted them. The twins went to the Devloka. The next was Kamdhenu, the divine cow that could fulfill all the desires of her owner. Vishnu granted her to the sages who performed penance for him. She was followed by a stunning white elephant with 5 trunks named Airavata, who became Indra's primary vehicle, and he was followed by the 7-headed horse called Uchchirvasa. Then the Apsaras, the eternal dancing maidens, emerged whom Indra wanted in his court. At last, the moment everyone had been waiting for arrived. The pot of immortality in the form of sweet nectar surged out of the ocean of milk. Vishnu knew that the Asuras would not give up the pot, and that if they drank it, it would unleash hell on earth. So he took the form of a striking maiden named Mohini and began to distract the Asuras. "Oh, you poor Asuras," said Mohini, "all of you have suffered from Vasuki's toxic fumes. Why don't you have a bath and wash yourselves? I will serve you this precious nectar myself then." The Asuras, hypnotized by Mohini's word and beauty, did as she said and scurried away to the nearest river. Seizing the opportunity, Mohini started ladling out the nectar to the Devas. What Vishnu didn't know was that there were 2 Asuras, Rahu and Ketu, who had been wary of Mohini's charm and had not left the place. They sat amidst the Devas silently and in disguise, waiting for the nectar. It was only after Vishnu had given them the nectar that he realized who they were. Without waiting for a single moment, he beheaded them with his divine discus. But because their mouths were already filled with nectar, they survived. Meanwhile, Vishnu asked his vehicle Garuda to transport the remaining nectar to Devaloka. When the Asuras came back after their bath to drink the nectar, there was no sight of Mohini, the Devas, or the nectar. Disappointed and enraged, Bali vowed to take revenge when the time was right. Legend has it that the birth of Vishnu's turtle avatar called Kurma took place at the Sri Kurma temple near the Sri Kakulam in Andhra Pradesh. The Kaustubha jewel can be seen today at Venkateshwara temple in Tirupati, where the jewel is located on the deity's shoulder. Rahu and Ketu are worshipped as planets today. When Garuda was carrying the nectar to Devloka, a few drops fell to the earth, and today that place is a home to Garuda's temple named Venethaya, located in the state of Andhra Pradesh. It is believed that a drop each from the pot containing nectar fell in four spots in present day Haridwar, which is one of the banks of river Ganga, in Prayagraj, present day Allahabad, which is at the confluence of the rivers Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, in Nashik on the banks of river Godavari, and in Ujjain on the banks of river Shipra. At each of these four places, the Kumbh Mela is celebrated once in 12 years, and legend goes that whoever takes a dip in the river at this time will be absolved of their sins. The story about the churning of the ocean remains popular with the artists all over India and infrequently depicted in various forms and styles. Carving of this can be seen along the walls of the Angkor Wat temple complex in Cambodia, while a statue of Vishnu in the form of Mohini can be found at Sri Mhalsa temple of Goa. This is the end of the story. Do you like it? Then comment it and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.